All right, good morning, fifth graders. Welcome to the second part of our online learning experience. By now, hopefully you have come to the school and picked up a packet, so you have paper copies, or you've decided that you want to do your packet online and you're going to do everything at home and print your own copies. In math, I've tried to make this a little bit easier for those of you that want to do online. When you log on to GoMath, you're going to be able to log right on, go into My Assignments, and it's going to pull up your math assignment for the day, and it's going to let you fill everything in right on the computer. You don't need to print any paper for this, okay? We have a test coming up at the end of this 2 weeks. Same thing on your test. If you decide to do everything online, everything will be right on the computer. No need to print for math assignments. Now, for you online people, there are a couple things that you might want to print or at least write on a separate piece of paper, okay? I'm going to walk you through the packet in just a minute, but the things that you're going to not have that's online on GoMath is you're not going to have your daily warm-ups and you're not going to have station work, okay? And then there's also a little extra credit opportunity that I'm going to mention in a few minutes. You're not going to have that as well. So make the decision. If you need your packet, please come to the school and get one. If you're choosing online, no need to grab a packet. Try to make this as easy as possible. Okay, before I run through your packet, I want to touch on the ducks just a little bit. I've got a few baby ducks at my house. They're very cute. I'm pretty excited to show you how they're moving around. I'll try to post a video a little later today so that we can watch as they grow over the next few weeks. I think these ducks are going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get back in the classroom and actually do some of this in person. So pretty excited about these things. Okay, so let's look at your packets for the next 2 weeks. Inside you're going to find, hopefully you'll find everything is in order. I tried to put everything chronological, so the date that it's due, you have it, you just need to go one to the next. If you have a warm-up and you say, Mr. Bauer, usually I do modified warm-ups, why are you giving me 5th or 6th grade? What you can do is you can email me and I will send you the warm-up that you're looking for. Say you're modified 4th, I will send that to you. So no fear, just reach out to me. I can be reached at email at any time. That's a pretty easy one to fix. Okay, so looking at our packet, the first thing you're going to notice is, well, let me run through what you need to do each day. So each day I'd like you to do one math assignment and a warm-up and then watch a video, okay? My YouTube video and the video that is on GoMath to help us with the lesson. When you do your warm-up, so today is the 6th, I'm going to look inside my packet. This is Monday 4/6. It's all labeled nice and neat for me. Remember, just do the warm-ups for Monday and then you're done. You don't have to go back and do it again until Tuesday. Okay, our math assignment today is going to be a review of everything that we've learned for the last couple of weeks. If I can find it. It's called the mid-chapter checkpoint. So what I'm trying to do is get you to bring your spring break minds back to school, because I know we've all had a few days off, and hopefully we did some fun things with our families. Okay? Real quick, let's review what we've talked about in the last couple of weeks leading up to spring break. We learned that shapes can be classified in different ways. So I can take a polygon, which is a shape with 3 or more sides, and I can identify the shape that it is. For example, this polygon right here, 3 sides, so I know it's a triangle. This polygon has 4 sides, so I know it's a quadrilateral. Some other things when I'm looking at shapes, sometimes they have these lines right here. This just tells me that this line is parallel to this line. They are the same size, they're going the same direction. You could do something like this, which means these two are the same and these two are the same. Markings also go with angles. If I have these 2 markings, that would tell me that both of my angles are congruent or they are the same. Okay, that goes back to the very beginning of this chapter. We also talked a little bit about triangles. We identified 3 types of triangles. One was equilateral. An equilateral triangle is a triangle that has all 45-degree angles. They're all the same, hence it's called an equilateral triangle, equal, okay? Isosceles, see if I can draw it here, looks something like this, where you have a 90-degree, a 53-degree, and a 37-degree. I know it's an isosceles if all angles are 90 degrees or less, and they're not the same. If they're the same as equilateral, different, it would be isosceles. And then, of course, a triangle with an angle that's larger than 90, that would be called a scaling. Okay? When I talk about angles of a triangle, one thing that might be important to know is that all the angles of a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. Now, something kind of cool if you're wanting to figure out some unknown angles at a future point. Okay, we also talked about trapezoids, parallelograms, rhombus, squares. Talked about how to identify some of those. You may need to go back and look at one of my previous videos if you're confused on some of that stuff. Then we talked about three-dimensional figures. I showed you a ball or a sphere. We looked at some cones, some pyramids, and some prisms, right? These are three-dimensional shapes. And then the last thing we did before we hit spring break is we talked about volume. Now, when I talk about geometry, there's two important measurements that we need to be aware of in 5th and 6th grade. One is area. What area is that's the inside of a two-dimensional shape. This is a rectangle. If I want to find area of a rectangle, I use the formula for area, which is length times width. So if this is 5 inches and this is 3 inches, to find my area of the rectangle, I simply 5 times 3, that would be 15 inches, and I put the squared there. The squared tells me that I'm dealing in 2 dimensions. In this case, it's length and width. Now, not all shapes have the same formula for area. A triangle is different than a rectangle. So for a triangle, my area is half of the base times the height. When you come to me next year in 6th grade, we're going to spend a couple of weeks going over this. So you don't really need to know the formula now, but I want you to know that they are different shapes and we use different formulas to find the area. Okay? Make sure on area it's squared, 2 dimensions. Don't confuse that with cubed or a 3-dimensional for volume. So let's talk about volume for just a minute. This is a 3D shape. Volume is what fills the inside of a 3-dimensional shape. In 5th and 6th grade, we mostly talk about finding volumes of square prisms and rectangle prisms, which is nice because they make it pretty easy for us. The formula is pretty straightforward. Basically, the formula is going to be length times width times height. Let me see if I can explain a little further. So here I have a 3-dimensional shape. This is a rectangular prism. If this is 4 inches, and this is 2 inches, and this is 2 inches, what I do, so here's my length, here's my height, here's my width, okay? I'm going to follow my formula, length times width times height, or 4 times 2 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. I'm looking at my units inches. Because I'm finding volume, which is area of a 3D shape, I'm looking at length, height, and width. So I'm going to put a cube there to show you that that's what I'm looking at, okay, 3 dimensions. On your homework sheet, they took 3D shapes, they put a bunch of boxes inside, and you had to count the boxes and tell me how many boxes were inside. So hopefully you remember doing some of that. If you have questions on your review today, just reach out to me and I can help you with those as they come in. Okay, other things you need to know about your packet. Looking through here, follow the dates. We won't have a station until April 7th, which is tomorrow. I'll go over the station with you, but it's in the packet. Some of you have a test in your packet. Online guys, your test will be on the computer, so don't worry if you don't have this. The last thing I want to mention, which is on the very back, is I have an opportunity this week for anybody that wants to do a little bit of extra credit, okay? What this is you can choose to do this or you can choose not to do this. It doesn't matter to me. If you choose to do it and get it correct, I will give you some extra credit points. Kind of have some fun for these 2 weeks. So basically you're trying to solve a mystery. So you have to there's 5 sheets. You're going to answer the math questions on the 5 sheets. Each one of the sheets is going to have a clue on it. Then you're going to go back to the last one. There's a sheet that has possible locations, is what it says. So you're going to use the clues to see if you can figure out the possible locations to figure out where the mystery happened. Okay? For anybody that solves the clues or gets the answers correct on their sheets, I will give you extra credit that will go towards your grade. Thought I would just throw it out there as something fun to do. Okay, so that's our packet. That's the expectations for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully you're having a good time and you don't feel like it's all too crazy. If you feel like this is so much and you can't get it done, please reach out to me and we'll figure out how to get through it. Okay? All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.